After Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, they went on to have other children, and eventually, they became grandparents. Within a few years, the earth was teeming with people. However, while some, like Abel, tried to obey God's word, many disregarded his laws. The wickedness of these people continued to escalate, leading even the virtuous down a path of darkness. Over time, the world grew increasingly wicked and evil. When God observed his creation, he felt remorse for having made humanity, as their behavior had become deeply corrupt. It was then that he decided to cleanse the earth with a great flood. Nonetheless, the Lord knew of one righteous man living during these dark times, Noah. While those around him were indulging in wrongdoing, Noah remained steadfast in his faith. He remembered God's goodness and taught his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, to obey him. Impressed by Noah's righteousness, God chose to spare him and his family. He instructed Noah to construct a massive ship, which he was to name an ark. The Lord specified the type of wood, dimensions, and design of the ark, which featured a large door and 3 decks. Inside, there were chambers for people, enclosures for animals, and storage rooms stocked with food for every living being. For many years, Noah diligently worked on the ark, unwavering in his belief that one day the promised rain would come. As he toiled, he also warned those who mocked him about God's impending judgment, but no one heeded his words. Finally, after years of labor, the ark was complete. God instructed Noah to gather his family, his wife, his sons, and their wives, along with pairs of every animal and bird species. When they were all aboard, God sealed the ark. For 7 days, they waited in suspense until the rain finally began. It poured like never before, as if the heavens had opened. The waters surged over the land, rivers and lakes overflowed, and soon the entire earth was submerged. People sought refuge on the mountains, but even the mountaintops became engulfed. All those not on the ark perished, leaving only Noah and his companions safe inside. The ark floated upon the boundless waters under God's watchful eye. For 40 consecutive days and nights, the rain fell without respite until God commanded it to cease. Although the waters lingered for some time, God eventually sent winds to dry the earth. Gradually, the water receded, allowing the ark to come to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. Other mountaintops became visible as well. Noah dispatched a raven to assess if there was any dry ground, but the raven could fly extensively and found carrion to feast upon, so it never returned. Subsequently, Noah released a dove, which prefers perching in trees and consuming seeds. The dove, too, returned since there were no trees to rest on. After a week, Noah released the dove once more, and this time it returned bearing an olive branch in its beak. Noah realized that the waters had receded sufficiently for trees to sprout new leaves. When he released the dove a week later, it never came back. Noah understood that the flood had ended. It had lasted a full year. He opened the ark's door, and out streamed the people and animals saved by God. It must have been a breathtaking sight for them to behold the fresh green earth after being confined to the ark for over a year. They were undoubtedly filled with gratitude to God for preserving them. Their immediate instinct was to express their gratitude, so Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice, much like Abel had done. God was pleased with Noah and his sons. He made a promise to them that he would never again bring such a devastating flood to the earth. He vowed to maintain the cycle of days and nights, seasons, and the promise was symbolized by placing a rainbow in the clouds as a reminder of his covenant. This promise endures to this day, and we can recall and thank God every time we spot a rainbow in the sky. Genesis chapter 9 verse 12-17 CEV. The rainbow that I have placed in the sky will serve as my sign to you and all living creatures on earth. It will remind you that I will forever uphold this promise. When I send clouds over the earth, and a rainbow appears in the sky, I will remember my commitment to you and all other living beings.